Good morning, everyone. I am at the gym today. As you can see in the surroundings, there are a lot of machines that I am using in order to keep my fitness. So, when I was at the treadmill, I realized that there is a program. I stumbled on the word called the program, wherein you can do some programming in your physical activities that you are doing, right? Suppose all of a sudden the power goes, right? And then my program is hindered, my program is disrupted or disturbed. So what can I do? So likewise, there are certain things which are happening within the construction contracts which will disturb the contractor's program. NEC 4 is not an exception, right? As you are aware, there is a compensation event within NEC 4 where there is an accepted program, and when the contractor is proceeding with the accepted program and all of a sudden client does not do something which needs to be done by a particular date. So if the client fails to do that one, so the contractor has got an opportunity to claim for time and cost as a compensation event. So what is the FIDIC equivalent term for this particular compensation event, or what are the sub-clauses which is reinforcing that sort of a scenario? Now let us first understand what is an accepted program. An accepted program as per NEC is the program which is contained within the contract data. There is a particular slot in order for the people who are signing, the parties who are signing the contract, to write down where exactly that particular program is to be inserted. Let's say it's revision 2 of a particular program. Now, accepted program is a defined term under NEC 4. As opposed to FIDIC 2017 version, the Red Book, the word program, which starts from capital P, is a program wherein the engineer has not given any objection. So that is construed as also an accepted program. So let us go into that particular scenario where the contractor is eligible for a time and cost claim owing to something which cannot be delivered by the client, where the client has failed to deliver by the specific date which is in the accepted program. Let us start with the subclause 8.3 of FIDIC 2017 version. The program subclause. Now, as opposed to the predecessors of 2017 version, it is a very lengthy, comprehensively written set of document, set of words, set of sentences within this particular FIDIC 2017 version when it comes to the program, right? It talks about the contractor has to insert even the review period pertaining to a particular submittal within the program. And then if there are any tests which needs to be done on a particular date and time, that also needs to be included within the program. That was deliberately written in the program subclause in order to avoid any confusions in the future. And there are provisional sum items which needs to be instructed by the engineer when the project goes on, when the project is smoothly progressing at certain times in order to enable the contractor to proceed with the works, right? Now let us look at the subclauses. For instance, subclause 1.9 of FIDIC Red Book 2017 version says, if the engineer fails to give or deliver a particular drawing on it or an instruction at a particular date, then the contractor has an opportunity to claim for time and cost. This is exactly matching with the program not being able to be delivered by the contractor owing to the client's fault or the employer's fault under the FIDIC terminology. When it comes to the tests on completion, you know there is a subclause 9.2, which talks about delayed tests. Now the delayed tests can occur due to the contractor's fault as well as the employer's fault. Now when the employer's fault comes into play, subclause 10.3, which is talking about interference with the tests on completion, will trigger an opportunity for the contractor to claim for time and cost as well. And there's a very strong there is a very strong statement in the subclause 8.5d where there is a dearth where there is a scarcity of certain materials or plant, subclause 8.5d, right, which includes the employer supplied materials as well. Okay, if the employer cannot supply certain materials which he has agreed to provide by a particular date, then it will definitely trigger a claim for the contractor for an extension of time. So that is employer supplied materials. When it comes to the provisional sums, as you are aware, subclause 15.4 clearly specifies there needs to be an instruction from the engineer in order to accommodate a particular provisional sum, in order for the contractor to proceed with the works pertaining to a particular provisional sum. So, had the engineer not given this particular instruction at that particular date, definitely that will trigger the contractor a claimable item. The contractor can make a notice saying, Mr. Employer, your employer's personnel or the engineer has not given the sufficient time in order for us to proceed with this particular item for the provisional sum, so that we cannot adhere to that particular program which is being given in the contract, which has been approved in the contract. So these are the sub-clauses, some of the sub-clauses which are scattered through FIDIC 2017 version, which is in line with what the NEC compensation event talks about. That means the inability of the client to deliver certain items in accordance with the accepted program will trigger the contractor to raise a claim pertaining to time and cost. I hope you have enjoyed my video, and we'll come up with another compensation event in NEC 4 format in another day. Thank you so much.